So once you have all of these ingredients, it's time to lay it out. And if you're not that savvy at graphic design, you may need to get some help at this phase. If you do feel like this is something you can take on yourself, there's a lot of graphic design software out there. I'd say the key to a good-looking treatment is make sure all your text is readable, make sure there's a good amount of space between the text, and make sure your images feel like they have a nice, size and scale to them. I also think the layout style should reflect the actual treatment. If you're doing something that is very bright and chaotic, then you may want the treatment to reflect that. If you're doing something that's very minimal, you may want the treatment layout to reflect that. I personally use Apple Pages for my layouts because it's a software that I can do the word processing in and the image layout. It's definitely a lot easier than using Microsoft Word. I think if you've ever tried to insert images in Word, it can become a bit dysfunctional. So Apple Pages is one software option, and they also have some templates in there that may suit your needs to swap out images if you don't have someone to help you and you're sort of new to graphic design. So this is the treatment for my music video Go Outside for the band Cults. This is the cover image, and I didn't have it high enough resolution, so I actually just did a blur in the background to sort of make up for that. This is kind of like the intro page. This is where I introduced the concept of the film, and again using these blurred backgrounds. And occasionally I'll go into this purely image page without text just to kind of boost the energy of the film. And also here you'll see a lot of the stock shots that I ended up replacing people from, and I replaced her with my hero, and I recreated a close-up of this scene. Okay, so here's the treatment for my MGMT music video for Cool Song number 2. This one became quite its own narrative, so I actually named the film Plant Hunter as well. Again, this is my intro page. I didn't bother with a greeting or anything like that. I just wanted to jump right into the narrative. I saved that sort of intro stuff for the end. I just started teasing out the story a little bit for this one. And then these are sort of character sections. So in this case, I decided to do one for each character. This is the hunter. I know that we talked about casting in characters as its own section, and sometimes there's a nice way to do that as well. And then we're on to the story, which I lay out in these different sections here. I use these little numbers on the corner, C28 right there, to say where you are in the song. And then, in bold, I have the lyrics. So this is my treatment for Devendra Banhart's for Hildegard von Bingen. You'll see I wrote the treatment with Devendra. Because I actually wrote it with him, this treatment serves a very different purpose. It's more for the crew and for his management to sort of get in tune with the project. This is my simple intro page, and then I jump right into the story on this one. Here it was hard to find the right sort of balance of references, but I just tried to keep everything in the mood and the tone. Then here I have a link to the song so that people can listen to the song while they're reading it. So I think when we're creating a treatment, the real judge of whether it's good or not is if it makes people excited, if it makes them want to see the film that you're presenting. I think that's the real fundamental reason for a treatment to exist. The treatment isn't the final product, it's to get people excited.